everybody. Welcome back to this week's Writing Sync. Pretty good week this week overall when it comes to writing, sort of. Our last count was 29,682, almost to 30,000. I can confirm we are over that. Today I am at 31,560 words. That's a almost 1,900 word increase. Part of me is very happy about that. The other part of me is not, because most of the writing that I did was in the last 2 days. I know I've said in other videos like, oh, this has been a week, but my job is amazing, but also really mentally draining. It takes a lot of mental energy. And so a lot of times it's hard for me to come home and write. It's a lot for me to come home and read as well. I've been kind of, not necessarily in a reading slump, but definitely a lot slower than I was before, and more infrequent. But I'm trying to prioritize that. I've been struggling with the balance between how to critically analyze my work and go, okay, this isn't very good, this is kind of stereotypical, whatever, and not tear it apart, because I'm a very self-critical person, and it's I want it to be the best it can be, but I don't know whether what I'm doing is harming the story, if I'm just being nitpicky. It's something I've been struggling with a bit, because there's things that I see that I can make better, but I don't want to make them better unless it fits the story, better, right? It's somewhat subjective. Sometimes it's objective, but that's neither here nor there. But I don't know. It's a difficult balance. I would say if there's anybody out there that has any advice for if you're a writer, how do you decipher that voice in your head, and what is being negative and what is being critical? Because I'm okay with criticality and making something better, but I don't want to sacrifice its integrity or what the story is that I'm trying to tell. Even if some of the tropes are stereotypical, that's the story I want to tell, So I don't know. There's been a struggle recently, so if you have any advice, I would love to hear it personally. I don't have a lot else. I'm both proud and upset with myself because of, again, the last 2 days really has been most of the writing I've done. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 other times that I wrote 100 words or something. And the last 2 days have been most of the writing. So I need to work on the consistency aspect. I know I say it every time, but I do struggle with it. And some weeks are going to be harder than others, but I want to stay consistent with that. I have a lot of things I want to stay consistent with, and this one is really high on that list. So that's all I got. Thank you for joining me. If you have any advice, please drop it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out Mostly Vanity on Wednesdays, which is my variety show where I talk about books and story and other types of story, video games, music, etc. So go check that out, and I'll see you guys next week.